If you don't know how to estimate rehab costs before you buy a property, you're gambling. And most beginner investors don't realize they're gambling until they're halfway through a project, over budget, and stressed. Here's the truth. You don't need to be a contractor. You don't need to be perfect, but you do need a system. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how to estimate rehab costs before you close, so you don't turn a good deal into a bad one. Welcome to Real Estate Simplified. I'm Bill Simmons. I've been investing in real estate since the 80s. Flips, rentals, multi-units, 30 plus years before I became a realtor. So I've learned a few things about the investor side. Most beginners do one of three things. They guess, they use the seller's estimate, they assume cosmetic equals cheap. All three are dangerous because expensive stuff isn't. Paint, carpet, light fixtures. The expensive stuff is what you don't see. Roof, HVAC, foundation, plumbing, electrical, sewer lines. If you miss one of those, your numbers collapse. And here's the bigger problem. Once you own it, you're committed. That's why estimating rehab costs is not about being exact. It's about protecting your downside. When I walk a property, the first thing I'm asking is this cosmetic or systemic? Cosmetic equals paint, flooring, cabinets, fixtures. Systemic equals structure, mechanical systems, major components. Cosmetic issues are manageable. Systemic issues change the deal. If you're looking at cracks in foundation, sloping floors, water damage in the basement, 30-year-old furnace, roof at the end of life, that's not a 5,000 refresh. That's real money. Beginners underestimate systemic repairs every time. You should be able to walk a property in 15 minutes and get a rough range. And here's how. Roof. If it looks worn, curled, patchy, or older than 20 years, budget $8,000 to $15,000 depending on size. Number two, HVAC. Older than 15 to 20 years, budget $5,000 to $10,000. Electrical, old panel, fuse box, budget $2,000 to $5,000 minimum. Full rewire, much more. Plumbing, galvanized pipes, corrosion, potential full replacement. Now foundation, large horizontal cracks, walk carefully here. Foundation repairs can range from a few thousand to 20,000 plus. If you see multiple major systems aging out, that's when you slow down. The square foot rule, use this carefully. Some investors use price per square foot rules. For light cosmetics, $15 to $25 per square foot. Moderate rehab, $25 to $50 per square foot. Heavy rehab, $50 plus per square foot. But here's the warning. This only works if you understand what you're looking at. A 15,000 square foot house needing flooring and paint is very different from one needing roof, HVAC, kitchen, bathrooms, and structural repair. Square foot math is a guideline, not a decision maker. Here's a veteran tip. If something is borderline, assume replacement, especially on the roof, HVAC, water heater, appliances if it's a rental. And because if you're wrong on paint, you lose hundreds. If you're wrong on HVAC, you lose thousands. Always protect against big ticket surprises. Get a contractor walkthrough before you close. This is where many investors hesitate. They don't want to waste a contractor's time. Listen carefully. Spending a few $100s on a contractor walkthrough can save you tens of thousands. When I walk properties with contractors, I don't ask, what will this cost exactly? I ask, what am I missing? They see things you don't. Framing issues, improper past repairs, code problems, drainage concerns. That perspective is priceless. Here's a rule I follow. At 15 to 20% contingency minimum. If you think it's 20,000, underwrite it at 24,000. Because once walls open up, surprises happen, and the deal needs to survive that. If it only works when everything goes perfectly, it doesn't work. Now let's tie this back to something critical. Are you holding it as a rental or flipping it? Because your rehab scope changes. Rental, durable, functional, clean, cost controlled. A flip, polished, competitive, emotion driven. If you estimate flip level finishes but rent it, you're over-improve. If you estimate rental level finishes but try to sell retail, you sit on the market. Your exit strategy must drive your budget. Here's the question that protects you. If I'm off by $10,000, does this deal still work? If the answer is no, it's too thin. Your best investors leave margin. Beginners squeeze deals. Margin equals sleep. Trusting seller rehab estimates, forgetting exterior cost, ignoring permits, underestimating labor, skipping inspections to save money. All short-term thinking, and real estate punishes short-term thinking. If you write an offer, you should know rough rehab range, worst case scenario, your exit strategy, contingency buffer, holding cost impact. If you don't have those, you're guessing, and guessing is not investing. Estimating rehab costs isn't about being exact. It's about being conservative. It's about understanding risk, and it's about protecting your capital. Because once you close, you don't get to change your mind. If you're looking at a property in the Omaha or Southwest Iowa area and want a second set of eyes on rehab numbers before you make an offer, I'm happy to walk through it with you. No pressure, just practical advice based on decades of seeing what goes wrong and what works. And if this breakdown helps you think more clearly about investing, subscribe. I focus on protecting your money, not selling you hype. I'll see you in the next video.